Okay, so I'm going to show you the three main ways that if I had students in my classroom, that I would have them record a podcast or record their voice. First one is going to be Vocaroo, and it's just a website. And the issue with Vocaroo, though, is that once they hit that button, they can pause it, but they can't go back and edit it. So if they record their voice for 10 minutes, I always suggest to students to press play, then pause, then play and pause. But once you press stop, you can't splice those two voice notes together. It's just going to be one voice note. So it's going to be important that they don't hit stop until they're ready to be done. They can pause as many times as they want, but if they mess up, they just kind of have to continue going or press pause and like collect their thoughts. So while they're working on a script, I tell them, read through these couple sentences or do this one segment. Don't try to talk for 10 minutes. Press pause and recollect your thoughts. When they're done, they do hit stop and they can click save and share. They are welcome to use this link, but it only lasts for about 6 months. It's up to you. If they press download, what it's going to do is it's going to go to their Google Drive. From there, when it goes to their Google Drive, if you had them open up a Google Slides like I'm in, they can go to insert and then they can go to audio. And then in my most recent, it's going to have today's Vocaroo. When they add it, they can resize it and they can have that voice note that allows people to click. The only thing that they need to make sure that they do is if you would like to listen to it or other students would like to listen to it, they do need to go in and open their sharing settings. In order to open their sharing settings, I tell them to go into their Google Drive and they'll go to recent, and then I can click here and I'll open that to Plainfield Community Schools because it is not available for everyone with the link with our students. Okay, so that is Vocaroo, and I do have a kind of like a how-to sheet for students that I'll add that at the bottom of the video. So the second one is actually the platform that I'm using to record right now, so I can't show it to you completely. But what every student has been pushed out to their Chromebook is Screencastify, which is a recording device, recording application, and they just need to go to their puzzle and make sure that it is pinned. And from there, they can click and they would have these options that are right here. What I would have students do is have their desktop up, but then have their webcam off. And so Sydney Weir, she does not, she's a teacher at Clarks Creek. She has her students podcast. They actually do not use Screencastify, but if I was having a student do this, I would have them perhaps create something in Canva to have behind them while they're recording their voice. The nice thing about this is that students can actually edit with Screencastify, and you can edit and cut out chunks. So that is the nice thing. Your end product is actually a video, but once again, we wouldn't have our video in it. We would have something in the background. So that's another way to do podcasting where editing is an option for students. The last way that I would possibly do is through Flipgrid. So a teacher can assign a flip, and when students go, they can actually click audio, and then they can record their voice from there. You want to make sure that it has enough of a timer. So keep in mind that students can actually still add a photo into here. They can go to photo. And they can be talking about whether there was something, once again, that they designed in Canva for this, or if they're talking about something in particular. They can have an image that's perhaps fully in the background to where they could do a podcast. The other cool thing about this is that we know Flipgrid allows you to share with home those QR codes, share out links. So this is kind of cool to be able to share with others if your class created a podcast this way. So those are the three different ways that if I was to kind of have podcasting be an option for my students. I was a middle school teacher, so with my students, that if the end product, the only option they were going to have was a podcast, then I can also allow some choice within there. So a lot of times I'd have student choice, student voice is definitely in here. If you want to know more about this or you want me to help you set up a choice board, just reach out and I'd be happy to help.